Hello, Animation Fanatic here. I apologize if my video is a little slow. My computer decided today to drag a bit. Today of all days. Well, I've had a pretty good day. Went to Madrid Games Week, which was a lot of fun. Got to see some great games, play some great games. My recommendation is, yeah, go out and get Call of Duty Ghosts. I thought it was a lot of fun. The new Mario Kart was fun. A little too slow, maybe, but I don't know. Yeah. But I'm not here to talk about games or Madrid Games Week. I'm here to talk about the most recent episode of Total Drama All-Stars. I really had hoped, and I had such every episode had been so good until now. I had really hoped I wouldn't have to talk about an episode in a negative fashion. The last season, as you probably guessed from previous comments, the fifth episode was not my favorite. The others were all good, or at least pretty good. Episode 4 was a little bit slow at points, and so was episode 6 as well. But overall, I liked the whole season with the exception of episode 5. Total Drama World Tour and Action were, again, huge ups and huge downs. And Total Drama Island, I really can't think of any episode that I disliked at all. If I could put a ranking on everything and least favorite, I would. I can't even think of a least favorite, actually. I liked every episode, pretty much. I mean, there is no episode that I don't like of that. But anyway, Total Drama All-Stars, everything had been going fine up until now, and then we get this episode, which is, by the way, the 100th episode of Total Drama, not including the specials, which I count the specials, so 2 episodes previously was the 100th episode. That was a good episode. This was not quite as much. So let me get into that. Geez, I want to give a basic plot of this, but there's so much happening, I wonder if I can. Basically, it's the 100th episode. Chris had this big celebration planned, but Ezekiel comes in and ruins everything. And then the campers are all going down into this mine shaft to find Chris. A lot of them get captured, and eventually they beat Ezekiel. Cameron ends up getting eliminated, and Alejandro's sent to Boney Island, which I would think people wouldn't want to send him there, but as far as I don't know if the Chris invincibility item is still in play. No one's ever said if it is or isn't. So, as far as we know, Boney Island is just a punishment, but it might not be. But anyway, Alejandro gets the boot back there again. Mal is still being Mal, still a pretty good strategist, still trying to manipulate people, trying to create discord. I'm liking the villain a lot more now than I did when he was just a minor annoyance and inconvenience to everybody. I mean, honestly, they treat breaking the game guy and Sierra's phone like it's the most evil, despicable thing you could do in the world, and it's just proof of what a bad dude he is. And it's like, oh my gosh, that makes a person a jerk, not pure evil. But whatever. He's better now. He's not always on top of things. As you can see, he gets captured by Ezekiel and locked in the cage with everybody else. But he does his best. By the way, I was a little worried because for a moment in this series, it seemed like the characters from the last season were kind of being against the characters of the seasons before that. But then they mixed and matched enough. Zoe still got her skills. I'm personally rooting for her to win. I hadn't thought about rooting for somebody, but if I'm going to root for anybody, I'll root for her. I can almost see a showdown between her and Mal at the end. That would be a great season finale. Yeah. Anyway, Scott and Courtney get together for the briefest of moments in this series. My gosh, is that awkward? Is that poorly handled? It was funny, actually, before, and this time it's just... No. First of all, they kiss in the stupidest fall kiss possible. I mean, I gotta be honest, people. I don't think I've ever seen a stupider kiss on any show. I mean, stupider accidental kiss on any show. I'm not just talking animated. I'm talking live action as well. I'm talking from the serious to the comedic. I have seen one that was stupider. And that was from an episode of Transformers Beast Machines when Rat Trap and Botanica kiss, and that is only stupider, just barely, because nobody tripped in that. Nobody tripped and fell on each other. Okay, this one in Total Drama All-Stars was very stupid, but the only reason the Botanica and Rat Trap one was slightly worse was because they didn't fall. They were just putting their faces towards each other because they were mad at each other. I think they were arguing about, I don't know, I can't remember the episode, but they were arguing about something, and then they just kiss, and then they pull apart and get mad again, and that is it's like, how was that an accident? That's so stupid. But they act like it's an accident, so yeah, that's great. Then we get more awkwardness with Scott's whole shoelace ring thing. Ugh. Oh, this is making me puke. Jeez. I thought Duncan and Gwen made me puke sometimes. Anyway, I don't want to get into that big controversy. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I really don't care, but whatever. So yeah, they're together for all of 2 hours, I think. That's what Scott counts the hours. Okay, that's kind of funny. But honestly, in this episode, the humor is just not there. Nothing is really funny except for Chef, Chris, and the one intern who's kind of funny for like a second or two. When he says because Chef ends the episode and he's like, and the intern's like, oh, total drama, all get the ice cream. That's funny. That was funny. The rest of this, not so much. No, it just wasn't that funny of an episode. And for 100th episode, the writers seem to have these little pet projects that they like to do that no one else likes. They seem to be under the impression that not only does every single person love Duncan, not only does every single person love the same characters and want to see them over and over and over again, but also that every person thinks that the Zeke is Gollum joke was funny. I'll admit it was done better this time, probably the best it's ever been done, but that is not saying too much. It's just not that good of a joke. Please, somebody, make him go back to normal. I miss the whole, oh, he's farm kid, he doesn't know anything, he's homeschooled. And I was homeschooled, but at least that's better than this. Oh my gosh. I'm not saying he had to win World Tour, I'm just saying he had to go farther than he did last time, and it to be funny, okay? Instead of having actual interesting character development, or at least entertaining character development, we get the Zeke is Gollum joke and has acid spit, and oh my gosh. The more I think about it, the more I get a migraine. Oh, jeez, the things I have to put up with for this show. But I soldier on somehow. This is one of my longest Total Drama videos, I think, ever. Anyway. So yeah, Scott and Courtney. Yeah, like I said, they're together for all of 2 hours, and yeah, they're all they love each other, and they ditch Gwen, and then Gwen's all alone underground, and then she teams up with Zoe, and then she teams up with Cameron. Meanwhile, Mal is trying to get people competitive with each other. You know, he tries to frame Alejandro for setting up Cameron to be voted off. Alejandro tries to frame Mike Mal, because he's still impersonating Mike, trying to pretend to be Mike. Then he pretends to be standing up against the other team players and tries to get Cameron to go against Gwen. Okay, I like that. That was interesting manipulation. And then he goes this, oh, kiss Courtney so Scott will be jealous and make it look like she kissed you. And yeah, then that happens, and that was like, really, we're going here? We already had the whole Cameron might be villainous thing in the previous episode. Oh, that's thrown aside. It's brought back for like the briefest of moments. It's this whole kiss thing, and Cameron's thinking, I don't know, maybe, okay, I'll do it. And then it's thrown aside because Cameron's eliminated, so what was the point of that in the previous episode? I'll tell you what, if I had any technology or any kind of special effects, I would point to a sign that said it was entirely pointless. But yeah, we have this kiss scene, and then Scott and Courtney break up after, like I said, all of 2 hours. And Yeah, and that's it. And then Cameron and Gwen go and save everybody, and Cameron gets crushed by rocks. He's too injured to go on. Chris says, we'll never talk of this again. And yeah, then Cameron is bandaged, Cody and Blanley style. By the way, where is Blanley? And yeah, flushed down the toilet. Oh, not before Mal says, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Mal. It was sad to see Cameron go this way. I mean, they was so... I can't help but feel at the end, like, how mean-spirited it was. It was just like, you've got the winner from the last season. I don't care what the American version was. Cameron was the winner. The character who we went on this whole big journey with, who grew the most, who developed the most, I'm not saying he had to make it farther. I'm just saying you could have given him a nice send-off. You could have given him a pleasant victory, and instead you just harshly kicked him out, possibly to be assaulted by Sierra the minute he gets to the other side. And that's just really sad. And yeah, you can tell by the tone of my voice, I didn't care for that. It was just so mean-spirited and just harsh. Ouch. Anyway, like I said, this episode was disappointing. It just wasn't all that funny. It wasn't all that entertaining. And it seemed just so less. It's supposed to be the 100th episode. Don't just go for like... okay, Ezekiel can interrupt things, but don't just go for like a whole bland... You know, why was this even half an hour? It should have been an hour-long special. Even then, that they could have added more characters, added more story, done a whole bunch of things. But even if it had stayed half an hour, they still could have... They could have brought in the other cast and the eliminated members and had like some competition to put someone back in. I know that might have complicated things with only a few episodes left, but still, they could have done it and eliminated more than one person in one episode. Or instead of having us vote for a final 2, we could vote for a final 3. That's cool. It's just... It seems so reduced. I mean, I don't know what Chris had planned, but... I almost want to see that plan rather than what we got. And it just seems so less and so undertone, and it was just not that good of it was just not that great of an episode. I'm not saying it was a bad episode necessarily, but it was just kind of dull. We didn't even have a cameo from a previous cast member. At least, except for Ezekiel. We have 2 cameos. We've had him, and we've had Izzy. You know which one was good? Izzy's. It was just, I don't know, this episode just disappointed me. And you might say, well, Casey, weren't you half asleep by the time you saw that? Yeah, but I've been half asleep before. I've been tired, I've been bored, I've been stressed when I've watched this show, and every time, it's never failed to entertain me. It's never failed to make me laugh until this episode. And yeah, this is just such a huge disappointment to me. Okay, but I soldier on, and I'll make it to the end of this season and the next season, although these are combined somehow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Legend of Korra review next, and hopefully Turtles, and who knows if Beware the Batman will ever come back again.